let's get started on this deal. We're gonna hit it on the head right here. Get going, just like we always do. We're gonna talk about tracks and how tracks did, and that's one thing that I'm always good to hear or know about, because there's a lot of people that always, they're always asking, they're always wanting to know. So, how is the hobby doing? What's up, Chris? How it's doing, how everybody is, and this is kind of my judge of it. Now, guys, remember I only do about 22 tracks, 23, what have you. So I kind of look at all those and see where we're at. Let's run through them real quick. Brad ran the BB Mods Friday Night Lights series. I think this is number 3. He's got one more to go. 14 cars, 14 drivers, 33 30 cars in that deal. Cedar Bluff, we were out there last night, 22 and 50. Raw, they did their Friday night deal. That was 34 and 57. High Road was 9 and 18. 5-star, I checked on them, Shane and them over there. They did off-road this weekend, which, like most of you know, I want to check out a little bit and see how it is. 37 and 71. Layton was 41 and 62. Palos was 27 and 56. Limestone 14 and 18. Their first indoor race of the year. It usually starts off pretty slow around here for indoor because outdoor is so big. High Banks up in Michigan, 19 and 47. Germantown over in Danville area, they had 17 and 40. Daredevil up north again in Michigan, 43 and 88. Go Fast, they had an indoor over in Indiana. They were 21 and 36. Thunderdome, we were up there on Friday night. We'll talk about that here in just a minute. But they ran their Motive on-road series this weekend. They were 42 and 67 for the on-road carpet stuff. Jacksonville had the big weekend, 29 and 75. So they ran their Nightmare on Vandalia or whatever. So yeah, it was good. From the 22 or whatever that I check on, 369 drivers, 715 of those cars out there running. So really good numbers, guys. It is hard to get a big count this late in the season. A lot of guys are slowing down. I know homecomings are all over this weekend. There's a lot of stuff going on, along with indoor getting started for the outdoor tracks. So guys are switching over or getting other cars ready, but that's how it is. It works. There's a lot of guys doing it, and it's good to go. So yeah, Rick said Cinda had 46 and 75. Yeah. Live RC says 72, but yeah. Yep, that's good. That's good turnouts, guys. I mean, that's good turnouts no matter where you're at. So good racing there. What else is going on? I've got a couple of big announcements, or not big announcements yet, but they're, in my opinion, they're good announcements, right? They're good for the hobby. We're going to jump into one of them right away. One of them that I want to touch base with. We went there, as I spoke of just a minute ago. We went out there on Friday night and checked this deal out. It's the Thunderdome. So those of you guys that know, up in Morris, there's an indoor carpet track. Look at this deal. This is their banked carpet oval. They're going to run this winter. There is a list of cars that they're going to run. It'll come up here in a minute. But that track is huge compared to what I thought it was going to be. So this will be all carpeted. So, yeah. Oh, yeah, we must have just got there right after you. We was probably eating dinner. So, there it is. Let me flip through some of the pictures for you guys. Get it back up here. Yeah, so she's banked 17 degrees, guys. It should be interesting. Another picture of it. Just kind of an idea. There it is. That's the dimensions on it too. Courtesy of Jason Hainline, who built it. There's other guys involved in it, but there will be they got a lot of stuff going on. There you go. There's your 17 degrees of banking. Got some cars put on it. Losi Sprint on there. I think that one RC car and some foam tire stuff sitting on it. Just through the corner there. They're just trying to get the corner smoothed out. Hope he didn't get any time to work on this weekend because there's a big race there this weekend. There's your specs I was talking about there. So 70-foot long, 30-foot wide, 10-foot run lanes, 135-foot run line, infields of 50 by 10, and 17 degrees of banking. So tentatively right now, guys, they do have a practice set up for the 17th of this month. Friday night, they have a schedule set up for that to happen. And then here it is, the 31st. You'll be racing on that track on the 31st. The high banks will be open. There's your classes. Everything that's there. 13.5 sprint for us outdoor guys, maybe. I assume all rubber tire on that also. Doesn't say. They're pinned in the features on Thunderdome's page. Buggy Street Stock, 22 Losi Outlaw, NASCAR truck. Yeah, Scuba's got cars ready. I think Jeremy's going to have cars ready. So, yeah, guys, I think that's going to be something. Here's what I'm going to say about that. When you walk in there and you look at the amount of dedication and work it takes to do that, you'll be like, holy shit. And that's why I want to share those pictures tonight. There's so much work that JJ put in, Jason Claypool. They both have been, I think, involved in it pretty heavy, along with other guys. Dieter was up there. There's a picture on their page of him trying to fill in some of the bumps in the bottom low, so that's a lot of work, guys. So if you are available that weekend to come out and check it out, see what's going on, we're going up there. So we're going to watch, see what's going on, how it runs. They are going to be safe with it. So there is when you walk into the track, it's a chest high to me and head high to most. So it's pretty tall. They are going to put a fence up and netting up, from what I understand, to help that. So it is going to be different. There is some video out there of them running it just on the boards, which I think is badass. I wouldn't put carpet on it. I mean, I would want it a little looser than carpet's going to make it, but that's me, because I'm an idiot like that. But that's going to be good. Yeah, Jason. Thanks, Jason, for the warning. Mama's already got you hooked up there. So that's how it's going to be. All right. So we're going to go up there, hang out that day, and see how everything works. So if you got something that you can run, check out the schedule, get out there, support these guys. A lot of these guys raced with us this summer early on, and then got involved in this project and really didn't race much because they were so busy trying to get this thing going. They do still have the on-road on this other side. I don't know if they're going to turn that into oval much at all anymore with this banked oval. So I think the banked oval, brand new carpet, it's all laying there ready to go on. They're just trying to get the track smoothed out as much as they can to be able to lay it down. It's definitely going to be a treat to try it out and see what it's like, for sure. So make sure you get out there. All right, one more. Let me get over to it here. I got another, not really an announcement of any kind. It's just something that really caught my eye today. And I think people probably should be looking out for it to see what's going to happen. There was a very interesting post put out today. Wits Racing put a post out. There it is. And the post states what it says right there. Iowa, Indiana, Illinois in 2016. Guys, you know as much as I do. I don't know about the whole Fly the W That sounds way too much like a cubby, but I guess I let it fly this time. So I don't know what this is, guys. They're up to something. And in my opinion, here's what I would do. Get on their page. If you're not subscribed, if you're not following Wits Racing, make sure you are and see what happens. I seen it because 2026. I'm sorry. Eagles 2026. So something's going to happen in 2026 between Illinois, Indiana, Iowa, and Wits is going to be involved in it. So make sure that you guys get over there, see what they're going to do. I don't know what it is. It's going to be very interesting, I'm sure. And I'm sure it's going to be good for the hobby. I mean, these guys really helped a lot at the backyard. They put on a lot of support for Tony over the backyard. So and with him being closed, I don't know what's going to happen, but man, I'm telling you, sit back. Whenever they announce it, whenever that comes out, make sure you guys are on board. And these guys support us. They give us good products. Make sure you guys support them. I don't run any of their stuff as of now. Just because we're not big. I personally am not big enough. I know guys that run here do, but I don't. But you know what? Doesn't matter. If somebody is helping the hobby in some way, why wouldn't you? Okay. So get over to Wits, check it out. I don't know what it is. I haven't heard anything. Yes. Yeah. A lot of guys run their motors. We have some questions coming up in the next couple of weeks about that. We're going to talk about some motor issues, or not issues, but motor ideas. So make sure you guys jump on there, jump on the Wits page, check it out, see what they're going to do, see what the deal is all about. We're going to go from there. All right. All right. Back at it. One more thing on the Thunderdome, guys, a lot of their stuff, like they run the Losi sprint cars, they run the Losi, NASCAR. So, make sure that you guys can get that. They have a few NASCARs at the hobby shop there, in Dieter's shop right there in the Thunderdome, but not many. So make sure if you need one, get a hold of them or get yourself one and get out there. I think those Losis are going to be really good there. So they're relatively inexpensive. So get out and get you one, get out there and help those guys, you know. Become one of them big Losi guys. You know how that goes. Everybody becomes a big Losi guy at some point in their life. All right. What are we talking about? What are we going to talk about this week? This week, let's go to question of the week. Question of the week is going to be, this is an interesting question. A guy that a lot of you guys know, even if you don't know his handle on here, you know him if you've been around a lot. Weasel put this one out here. That should be makes instead of males. I'm going to try out one of their motors. They're like 110. Yeah, they're not bad. What is it that makes you admire someone at the track? Their racing attitude, their IQ, the car's appearance, the on-track performance, the at-the-track helpfulness. What characteristics does your track hero have? Okay. What makes that person your track hero? I think it's a split. I think there's a lot more than you think there. That question is bigger than what you think it is. Right? I think there's more to that question than people really understand. And I think it can come into a lot. I'd like to hear everybody else's opinion on that. What makes the guy at the track that I don't know if you would say gravitate to or just enjoy watching? What makes it happen? What makes that person the person that you want to hang out with, go talk to, watch race? Never speak to them, but man, really enjoy watching them race. What does that? What characteristics are you looking for? My wife says 4 legs and furry. She got to play with Shooter and Gunner last night for a little bit. 2 big old dogs down at Cedar, which was great for her. I'm glad she enjoyed that. But so yeah, what do you guys think? Mine starts when you are brand new to the sport, and he comes up to you and starts giving you advice in the shut up sheets. Okay. Tommy says, well prepped car and a good driver. Yeah. Mine probably is I like a good looking car. Mark Larson says approachable. Agreed 100%. Ryan says extraordinary skills and great race management. When to push it and when to roll around. Yeah. Yep. Down to earth and positive attitude, says Albie. Tommy's bringing Ty back next race for you, Mama. She loves the pets, guys. Yeah, guys, I think you guys are all right on the head with it. I think that's a key to most of it. Let me scroll back up here a little bit. Ryan says extraordinary skills, great race management. Right. And that's just it. Like, to me, it's smooth. Like, I like to see a smooth operator. Like, if a guy gets out there and can get through traffic and get around, like last night, we were watching his Cedar and there was a wreck coming out of 4, and who was with it? Who was it? I know it was Cole and somebody else. I don't know if it was Kleiber. And they split the wreck. I mean, damn near wide open. Was able to make a maneuver enough to get through it. You know what I mean? And just having that awareness and watch. And then the other side of it is approachability. And I agree with that. I think Mark Larson said it. Approachability is key to me. Was it Drake? It's so approachable to be able to just go up and hang out. You know what I mean? Like, I have an advantage, guys, that most don't, because what we're doing right here tonight, most people know me and know who I am or know of me. And the other side of it is I own a track. So when I come around and ask you how it's going, I'm just asking you how it's going. And that, quote unquote, breaks the ice. The approachability part is huge. And I think the Fall Brawl brought that out a lot for a lot of guys to understand that everybody is somewhat approachable. You just have to be able to step up there. There was no big divide. We talked about it on one of the bullshit sessions I did. But, you always like a good looking car. But like I said, I think on-track performance, and if you're racing with a guy, it's even more than just watching the guy. You know what I mean? I think on-track performance helps, and approachability helps so much more with a guy you're racing against, so that you can do that. Alan is one of those guys. Yeah, Alan is. What's up, Kevin? Mark, Alan is one of those guys. Like, Alan will. Alan does it both ways with the approachability. Alan will go ask anybody anything. If they are fast, Alan will go talk to them. You can also go to Alan and ask Alan something too, right? I didn't know Alan at all when he came out here last season. Not this season, last season, right? Yeah, when he first came out with the guys after they ran a bunch of high roads or Thunderdome stuff, and Alan was very approachable. The other side of it, like I said, is, man, if you're beating Alan, he's going to go talk to you about it. You know what I mean? And want to know, hey, can you help me? How are you so fast? And that's good. I mean, there's a learning curve. I don't think guys should expect somebody to give them everything they have, right? You're not going to get the kitchen sink and all, but they might at least get you into the kitchen, right? So that's a good start to it. So, but I think that's huge. I think that's really, really key for guys to think about when you are racing, right? Is figuring out don't be the asshole at the track, right? Don't be that guy that nobody wants to pit next to, nobody wants to mess with, nobody wants to, You don't even want to deal with them, because now, part of that, there's different sides to it. Some tracks bring different things out in others, right? Like sometimes, oh, okay. The mama's going to check on the oldest. He's out fighting that fire. He's out fighting the field fire here in around Kempton. So, some tracks bring out bad in people. And I'm not bagging on I'm not calling a track out at all. But say a guy goes to a track that he is not as good at, or he's struggling a little bit, and or he's had trouble with that track. Transponder doesn't read. He feels the program shit. He's just not been successful, whatever that is. We were talking about going between you and Cole. We believe it was you and Cole racing last night, splitting 2 cars on a wreck, really, really well, and was a smooth operator in that sense, which is not normally what we would say about Drake. Smooth operator. Jake says, I always say I can only answer the questions asked, and that's true. And Jake, I had dinner with some guys the other night that you helped a ton on tires. One in particular that you helped a ton on tires and helped him understand a bunch during the fall brawl. And I promise you, he is very grateful for that. Chad says, I can say every one of the guys I have talked to at Kempton have been great. I think everyone for them to help. Hey, Chad, that's what we're here for, man. It's trying to help. It's trying to get everybody better. Drake, if how do I want to say this? If you have one guy out there that is running blocker because he just doesn't know and his car drives like shit, if he asks somebody for help, they'll probably help him a little bit. They're not going to give you everything. So you have to start somewhere. So start just a little bit and then figure it out. Work through it. You're not going to get it done in one night. So, yeah, that's good, man. I hope this track is that way. When it becomes not that way, I'll make adjustments as much as I can to make it better. So, Drake was trying to get me to drive his car last night, and I couldn't do it. And then they got out afterwards and drove him and who was out there with you, Drake? You and Traxxas Joe from Rogue Race Concepts. And then who was the other one up there? Was it Zach? They were all up there ripping it, and yeah. Anyway, it was good. It was a good night. Nice, easy night at Cedar. So I was glad to go out. It's a long drive, kind of into the as Ryan says, playing Russian roulette to get out of there. We did see a couple of Bambis, so always be careful when you go there. They're done for the season. Getting ready for that big race they got coming up, the Prelude, coming up here in the off season. So I threw everything at it, but the kids are singing. Jeremy came over and talked. Yeah. I mean, that's how it is, man. Helping each other out and doing the best we can. But you have to figure it out. You know what I mean? They're not going to give you everything. All right. Well, what's up? Me, Traxxas Joe, Zach, and Cole. Oh, we're trading controllers. I don't know. Yeah. Yeah, that's fun to do. Some nights that's fun just to do that, just to get to a track and just guys trade controllers and talk about it and figure it out. Yep, enjoy the night. And it ended pretty quick. So we were done early last night, so that's good. All right, guys, let's get to this dreaded day in our life. Nobody ever wants to do, but we got to again this week. And it's nothing major, guys. It's going to be short and sweet with this deal. It's tire turmoil. You guys know how much I love tires. We're going to talk about them again tonight. Just a little bit, though. Let me get back to comments here. Jason Van Nuys says, always fun to talk and chat with racers at the event. I'm usually swamped racing and miss most of the fun, but I like the stories told at the track, 100%. And Jason, I think just from being around a little bit, we talked like the fall brawl. You have more time. There's a lot more people. You know what I mean? So that gave you more time to be out, not slamming on the car, not working on the car the whole time. Rick says, I was struggling in my car last night and a friend watched my car and told me what it was doing. So we made some adjustments and went out there in a 5.9 fast lap down to 5.2. Hell yeah, that's good, man. Yeah, Cedar did one practice, one heat, and then the mains. So yeah, not much time to mess around. Not much time to mess around in that deal. All right, guys, we're going to talk tires real quick, and it's very short, very sweet. I was at the track last night talking to Drake, actually, about this. I talked to Jason about it. I talked to quite a few guys that were there that were also at the Fall Brawl. I talked to Andrew Baker. I talked to Nate Hayes. We were talking about tires and how they wore here. And if you guys watched the BS session the other night or jumped on that for a while, we were talking about it there too. I learned a lot from that, guys, as a track owner. I've never had that problem before. It was all in the mod cars. I think everybody else had a really good tire day, but the mod cars knew what they were doing and doping the shit out of it, and then tearing tires up. I called probably a half a dozen people or talked to half a dozen people after that race just because I'd seen some comments that were questionable on tire wear, and I don't really want to say it was. A lot of people took it as bitching. After talking to the guys, I don't think they were bitching. I think they were just making the statements. Drake put his on there that he wore the tire out. And he told me last night, face to face, man to man, I wasn't bitching. I was just making the claim. And okay, that's fine. Tommy had put some stuff up. Tommy D had put some stuff up. And I talked to him and he's the same way. He's like, what do you expect? You have 175 cars. It's hot as hell. And you put 20,000 laps on the track. It's going to rubber up. And they were doping all night. Then we were on the BS session and the same thing, Ryan said we dumped a bunch of dope on them, all the mod guys knew what they were getting into. I talked to some guys that are like, well, we burn up some tires. You're open tire track. So we just said hell with it. And we knew what we were doing. We doped the shit out of them and burn up some tires. So there was no complaint really. I think there were some statements made. And I think from the outside looking in, a lot of guys looked at that as like, well, and one person in particular said, well, that's an expensive night of racing whenever you're tearing tires up like that, not understanding the situation. Here's what I got to say to that. We will get better. The track will hold moisture better next year. It's already in the works. I don't know if Matt's on here or not, or if Matt heard the last shit show we've talked about. Matt Rikers has said something about the back wall being hard to see. That is in the works. I have a mock-up piece built already, and I am building a new wall. So the back wall will be fixed. Getting back to tires, just because of comments is the only reason we're on this tonight, guys. Jason said, I didn't door a single tire last night or wash a single tire till the main time. I ran a fast lap in most of my classes at Cedar. Jake said track was fast and worth the sacrifice. No tire wear either. Yeah. What I'm going to do next year, guys, I'm gonna work on more moisture in the track early. Hopefully helping that groove up. But it is what it is, man. We'll figure it out. I've never had that happen. I've never had that many laps on it, and I've never had that many mod guys here. So I'm learning. If you think I know everything, if you think I'm on here preaching to the choir about all this stuff that I know everything, I don't know shit. I'm learning, and that's why I'm on here talking about it, so everybody else can learn too. So when that happens, I called Aaron, message Aaron up at Attitude, and I talked to him about it, and he's like, well, here's what I do. See if that helps. And we talked about it a little bit. He showed me some prep stuff that he does and how he does it. And we're going to work on getting moisture in the ground next year. So it is what it is. I'm not worried about it. And if you have a problem with the tire wear that you got from the fall brawl, come talk to me. Don't sit in the corner bitching to your buddies. Come over to me, message me. Dude, what I'm on here is the same guy I am anywhere, just like we had that. Here. Drake says point blank, my car was too tight. That's why mine wore tires so bad. They still would have worn if the car was set up right, but not bad. More moisture would have definitely helped, but the track held up better than any of the elite races their first year. Yeah, I thank you for that, and I'm glad that it held up. I would give up some tire wear for hold up, I think. I felt like if you watered it just enough to keep some of the rubber off, it was done well, I think. Thank you, Ryan, for that. Mama says we are going to get more cats to shit on the track so it stays moist. Nice. Guys, if you come out and your car smells like cat shit when it's done, don't think anything of it. I use the same tires all day and night. Ellipses, only lost one right front. Yeah. I think the spec classes were a lot better. You know what I mean? Drake says last night I still wore tires on a nice track. Not much, but it happens. So what Drake's saying is he ran a nice track last night and my track was shit. Got you, Drake. I'm just fucking with you. All right. So anyway, they did have a ton of moisture in that track. It did look really good. Probably the best I've seen Cedar look. And no offense to any other time I've been there, but I went out for the elite race. It looked better last night than it did for the elite race, but I think the elite race was a little, I don't know. I think people get a little worked up for them big races, like I do, and when it's just a fun night and there's not going to be 200 there, you get a little bit more laid back. Joe says it's all about tires. Going fast, you soak up tire wear. Don't dope tires, you go slower. But tires last, so drivers know what they're getting into. Yeah, 100%, Joe. I mean, and these guys, like I said, I didn't have nobody really bitching. So it was I just want to make the statement that we will work on that and make it better. Rick says, if the track is going to rubber up, would it be better to run slicks? Some guys did. Jason says, if Drake wouldn't hang the right rear out so much, you wouldn't wear tires as much. Drake drives that shit in there. Cedar used to look like that most of the last year. Yeah. Yeah, guys, Cedar looked amazing last night, guys. I'm not bullshitting. I think it was a good look. I think it looked good, ran well, good racing. The only thing that's weird to me, and I'm not bagging on the track, but what's weird to me is Cedar has so much in the corners, and I know it used to be an old motorcycle track, but there's 10 feet in the corners, and if you get out there in them dingweeds, you're done. Like, there's no saving you. Here, the fun part about here is the wall will save you enough where you might still get loose, but at least you're not going to be out there doing donuts in all that loose. And it's nothing they can do about it, and it's no dig on them. It's the fact of the track. And as we talked about it many, many times, if every track was the exact same track, how boring would this shit be? We'd have no reason to travel. Jason says Drake doesn't lift till he sees the whites of Elvis's eyes in heaven. Drake doesn't, man. But he's always been that way. Mama's wanting to know what the hell the dingweeds are. That's the marbles, the loose dirt up high. And they're pretty flat out there, so that doesn't help any either. But Yeah. So, but yeah, Cedar was great last night, man. Good racing, fun. Program was ran pretty well, pretty quick, and they didn't have a big number. So, guys, when you have a lower number, you tend to be a little more lackadaisical on some stuff. You know what I mean? You tend to give them a little bit more time, and you tend to talk about, oh, we're going to give you 10 minutes instead of 2 minutes. You know what I mean? Because you can. Why not? Tommy says, Jason, when he sees Elvis, he hammers down harder. Yeah. Yep. He drives like my boy does. Trace drives the same way. He is heavy into the corner. But anyway, so that's Tire Turmoil, guys. No big deal. Nothing major. Just the fact of what I've heard, what I've seen. And I understand more. Guys, I'm learning every time. As I said before, I am no specialist to none of this. All right, we're gonna jump into the next section of this deal. We're gonna jump into topic of the week, guys. We're gonna get through the first hour of this deal on recording so we can get to the other half of bullshit time. All right. The deep end of the pool is lurking. We're gonna get there pretty quick. Let's see here. Rich says, hey, Jake, Rob Payne and I are going to build us one of them 2-seaters, do some racing. Coming for you, buddy. Nice. Rich, if you guys looked on the page, Jake put how he did how they wired it on the page, which is a hell of a lot easier than what I was thinking, Jake. So I'm glad you shared that because I was out in left field on wiring on that deal. So thanks for doing that. Joe Payne says, Tony, Drake, Jason, thanks for coming down last night. It was good. Yeah. Hell yeah, it was a good night of racing. We hung out there by Joe and Drake and all of them were there. And then I wandered. Mama stayed and hung out with the dogs and watched the racing. So good, Rich. Yeah, man. Like I said, that helped me a bunch. I'm like, how are you? My mind was wandering. Jason said, I'll give him props though. His driving has driving improved, even if his setup might be. Yeah, 100%. Drake's fun to watch, that's for sure. Drake's always been fun to watch, and his whole setup is kind of unorthodox, but man, it works, and we've never had really a problem with anything, so that's even better. All right, guys, let's get into the topic of the week. We got about 15 minutes left on cruise control here. Then we're going to jump in and swim the sharks. This topic of the week, guys, is more for track owners, but I would like kind of for everybody to jump into this thing. It's pointed at track owners, but the reality of it is everybody can answer the question, whether you're a driver, promoter, or racer, whatever you want to call it, track owner. Everybody can get in on it. So there it is. What do you think? Track owners, why do you do this? Like, why do you own a track? Why are you putting out your time, effort, money, whatever it is? Why are you putting that out there? For the money? Like for the return on investment? Just hanging out with your buddies? Or to help the hobby? Or whatever you think. Why do, it's really based towards promoters and owners, or track owners, but why do we do this? Why is this? It has to be multiple. I'll go with mine. It's, if you're in it for the money, you're not smart. Because my husband was bored. My wife says, yeah, well, it does take up a lot of my time. And some are money only, Scuba says. I agree 100% Scuba. There's guys out there. And Drake says this comment below, but the reality of it is there's a lot of guys that think they're going to make $1 million on it or pay their mortgage. And it's very hard to do. You know what I mean? And we know that by talking to people that's what they're there for. They'll tell you. Tommy says, just like big car tracks, there's not much money to make. So it's about the love of the sport. Agreed. I mean, yeah, that's a good point of view too. From a racer, why do you think somebody would do this? Like if you know a track owner well, you don't have to name them, and please don't. I mean, hell with it. If you want to call that guy out, call him out on here. I mean, it's fucking, in my opinion, Sunday night. Who cares? For the love of the game, yeah. I'm going to say it's for the love of the hobby and hanging out with great people with the same interests as one another. Agreed, Rich. I think you're probably more on there, but that's where I'm at, guys. My wife's correct. I got bored. I had to have something to do. And now guess what I have? I have 75 friends with 175 drivers or cars last weekend. And I go out every weekend somewhere, and there's so many people out there that we can just hang out and bullshit with now. You know what I mean? So hanging out with my friends and helping the hobby is my reason. I think it begins as hang out with your friends and having something to do. And then it becomes more of a job. And then you realize, man, if I want this to get better, we need to help the hobby all we can. Right. And that's where it starts. Let me start getting back here a little bit because guys are commenting. Ryan says, as same as us racers, we are all idiots wasting ridiculous amounts of time and money. And it's something fun to keep it busy and hang out. Keeps the brain happy. Yes, I agree with keeping the brain happy. Your mind can wander on this stuff all day long while you're at work and not even think about your real job. Jason says, I always thought some tracks got started because a guy got pissed at the track. He thought, well, I can do it better. There has been an influx of tracks opening up down there. It's because someone didn't want to travel anymore. I don't know what that answer is, but I can promise you this. If you think you can do it better, than a lot of the tracks, jump into the big end of the pool and figure out how you're going to do it and see if you sink or swim. Okay? Because it's tough. Matt says, I get no money for running Farmer City RC. I do it because I met some amazing people and made even better friends. Yes, agreed, Matt. Michael says, started with hanging out with guys and went into helping the hobby in our local area. In return, I get to watch some awesome racing and happy faces. Agreed, Althoff. That's why I call it Freedom Fridays. Because you worked all week, your freedom is to come out here and fuck off with your buddies and have a great time. You know what I mean? Smiles on faces are paychecks to me. Agreed 100%. Good call. Jake says he agrees we are all dummies wasting ridiculous amounts of money. Agreed. Yes, we are. Tommy says, Ryan, I'm too old to race big cars, so here I am. And that's another big deal. A lot of guys get out of the hobby as a big car hobby because of the money or because of the age or because you're beat up so bad, right? And then you can jump in these cars, do the exact same thing, but not set them up the same way and go race it. The wife says date night now consists of going to different tracks as long as there are a dog or two and I have a snack bag. Yeah, my wife is a 100% trooper, guys. We went to Cedar last night just to hang out. Well, Friday night we went to Thunderdome. Saturday night we went to Cedar. And, man, we couldn't find nowhere to eat on the way over there. We ended up at a Subway that some janky dude was working at. Luckily, the cops were there. Yeah, anyway, so good times. Joe says some of that is told by their actions. When a track owner races at a track and the track operator never returns the favor, yeah. Yep, that's big. I've talked to a lot of people about it. Rich says, Jake, speak for yourself about being, we're all idiots. Russell says, I love racing and can now race in my backyard with my buddy. Yeah. You don't have to, well, some guys travel a lot, which is great, but man, you ain't got to haul a car. You ain't got to get a truck, trailer. Equipment's a lot cheaper. I mean, there's just so much more to it, in my opinion. I love that. Jason said, Michaela can relate. Yeah. Jason's got a great one too. Michaela, she's ride or die too. She runs everywhere with Jason and She wasn't a seater. She took the night off, but they've been racing big car all week or going to big car races, so that's good. Rick Taylor says health reasons. Yeah, I mean that's part of it too, man. You just can't do it anymore, you know. Ryan says, Tommy, I drove a real one and didn't really like it. I like what we do now way better. Yeah. Mark says 2 back surgeries from big cars, so now this is my fix. Yeah. 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 Christina says she likes whenever her and Michaela can hang out too. And Paisley's saying he understands the surgeries. Yeah, that's guys, I never got into any of that. So that wasn't even it. You know what I mean? Like I didn't do any of that. Rich said, yeah, me too. Plus a heart attack and total hip replacement. Too old and wore out to be running big cars anymore. Yeah. See, I never got into big cars. Never got into big cars. So I don't know anything about that. But here I am playing around with these little ones and having a great time and learning every day. Like I said, hanging out with friends, hanging out with people, doing things, understanding how things are, working with people, enjoying the camaraderie and the friendships, I feel like is as big as anything. And you can do that with a big car. It costs a whole lot more. And there's no real money in this deal. The reality of it is you put 99% of it right back into the track to do something. You know what I mean? And we own ours, right? So we own the property. We own everything. So we don't have to worry about that. The where like Matt, he's running on the fairgrounds, right? Which is, in my opinion, an amazing opportunity. With that being so known out there, you know what I mean? Like I know pit bikes get on it, tear it up, and blah blah blah. But the reality of it is, man, there's an opportunity there. I think that you could really capitalize on. So Chad Decker says, so what brought you into it, Tony? Bored, literally bored, man. The story goes like this, and this is how it happened. I come out to tilt the garden up. The tiller went left. It kept turning left, kept turning left. I went in and told my wife, I said, I think I'm building a dirt oval. I went to go till the garden up, which is what this used to be. And the tiller kept turning left. I get out there. I go up to the second story, look out the window, and I'm like, hey, there is, I could get a little bit more. So where our infield starts on turns 1 and 2, that used to be the where the outside wall would be. So it would be about the size of Attitude. Well, we kicked it out. I said I got more room, so we made more room. Went 132-foot run line, and started going. So, IT department, baby, they are sleeping. One of them is under the TV, and I don't even know where the other one is. He was around here earlier. Get back here. So that's how I got started into it, and the whole community kind of jumped in. They Brett BBQ, who is a sponsor of mine, will be forever. He helped me dig the hole because he seen me doing it with tiller. He's like, "What are you gonna do?" I'm like, "I'm gonna build a dirt track." He's like, "Let me bring a tractor down and help you," because I had no clue what the hell I was getting into. He goes, "If we're building a dirt track, we're banking it." So we ended up banking it, bought all the stuff for that, did all that. So it was a huge deal. And then local guys bought a bunch of slashes. We wrecked the shit out of them. We got a little bit more normal with the classes, and guys started showing up. Scuba and Butch and Munstermans. And one year we ran Hell Tour, and I opened all week during the week in case somebody wanted to put laps in. And when I did that, Morris came out, Jeremy came out, Jesse was out early. Ryan Cox was out early. Ryan Haig was out early. So there's so many guys that came out real early, and we just beat shit up until we figured it out. And then it started getting more streamlined like everybody else, and now we have people from all over coming. Tommy says, hell of a lot cheaper too. Yes, it is. Rick says, these little cars are way harder to control and drive than my big cars. I agree with that, Rick. The reason I feel it is you can't feel the car. If you could feel the car, it'd be a lot better, but you can't feel the car, so that's why I have trouble with them anyway. Jason says, Mama says, Jason, we will be at the Thunderdome when your guys up there. Ryan says the competition and the willingness to work hard is the same. Plus, we don't get hurt in RCs nearly as easy. Agreed. So yeah. Guys, great question. Good feedback. Thank you guys for that. I like it whenever you guys kick that around and really give me feedback. It helps me understand where everybody's at. And I thought it was a really good question too of why does everybody do this shit? Because we spend a ton of money and effort and time, and if you're going to be fast, you're going to spend more money and more time, right? And you're going to buy more tires, and you're going to prep more tires, and you're going to find the right battery. So there's a ton to that. So yeah, I like it. That's good. That's a good conversation, guys. And the money side of it, like Matt said, he don't get paid, and honestly, we don't get much. You know what I mean? Like, we'll get a little bit, but then you buy trophies for the next one. You're already in a hole from the trophies from the first one. You know what I mean? Like, there's just so much more to it. And guys, we don't have to. We have full-time jobs. We don't, you know, we want enough to, yeah, one of them's over here whining. The other one's still sleeping. Yeah, there's always something. There's always something to do, you know what I mean? And you could be sitting at the bar, hanging out all night, and not have anything to show for it, and your friends don't even remember you were there. So, like brighter wheels or mud plugs, so I can watch what my suspension is doing. Helps me know what needs worked on. Huh? Interesting. And in a video, I'm sure it would help even more, right, Rich? I mean, if you're videoing it, and instead of just watching, if you have a video of it, I would assume that would be even better. So yeah, that's good, guys. Let me switch this over, guys. You guys know how this goes. Thanks for listening, In My Opinion. Don't forget to join us live every Sunday at 7 p.m. Central on Kempton Speedway Facebook page. Catch our highlight show dropping Wednesdays on RCU Radio's YouTube, Spotify, and all major platforms. Please like, share, and subscribe. We appreciate your support, and I'll see you next time.